Your business is such a multifaceted creation, connected to your thoughts, your words, your actions, your deeds, your heart, your passion, your purpose. You got to develop skills, because passion ain't enough without skills. So you got to build all these skills, and there's all these things that go on in our business, and yet our heart is at the center, our spirit is at the center of it. And sometimes we forget that. And so I'm here to give us a new instruction, new way of understanding our heart as it relates to spiritual business mastery and emotional coherence for spiritual business mastery. Welcome, everybody.
All right. Well, we are recording and we're live on YouTube. This is Knolly Success Coaching, and with my co-host Artemis Prime, my personal coach, who I'm so excited um, that he decided that he was obedient to do this with me. This is something that we talked about months ago. Just when COVID hit, the Holy Spirit impressed upon my heart, and I think Artemis at the same time, that we need to do something like this for the community, for the entrepreneurial community, for the business community. And so this is what we're doing. What I want to share with you before we kick it off, because this is an exciting topic. It's one that. And so this is what. Oh, hold on a minute. What I want to share with you before you hear that echo, because this is an
Knolly
exciting.
is bilocating. He's in two places at once.
Yeah, that means that. Hold on a minute. Yeah, that just means that YouTube is in the house. We hear you, YouTube.
Yeah.
We hear you.
And hello, everybody watching on YouTube. Great to see you. Great to have you here.
Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Let me go to the first slide here, because what I want to do first, I want to just share with you guys. You're seeing my screen, right, Artemis? All good?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. I see it.
Okay, cool. So just before we kick off, I just want to remind those of you that are just hanging out with us today. Maybe you're on YouTube, you're watching this, or you're watching it after the fact. You're watching it as a recording. Maybe it's the year 2030 when you're watching this. I don't know, but this is this is a free resource that we came up with for you. This is our gift to the planet. We know that when we leave this place, we're answerable for the life that we've lived here. So we've come up with something that is kind of, we can put our footprint down and say, hey, we did something to help change and help better humanity. We call it Knolly Success Coaching. It is absolutely free. And it's a weekly group coaching call with me and Artemis, members only private Facebook group, a library of coaching trainings that we're actually building every single week. Exclusive accountability partner. We had a call all about that. Very, very important to pick yours. Live event training series. Yes, we're going to be meeting live again soon. We're going to have live events. We originally wanted to price it at $400 a month. Then we came up with $100 a month, but we were really impressed to make it absolutely free. It's Christ-centered. Everybody is welcome. Everybody is welcome. And it's sponsored by our Mentorship Masters program that we have as well for real estate agents. So here's how to join. If you're not a member already, go to knolly.com, register to join we call it just Knolly Success Coaching. It's right there at the front of the page. And it's right there at knolly.com. That's right. Sign up now, right now at knolly.com. Well, this is a treat, guys. It's a treat for me too, to be able to be part of the Knolly Success Coaching, because I never know a couple things. Number one, I never know what the Holy Spirit's going to drop. Okay. Number two, I never know what you guys are going to come in with all your wisdom, because God has us scattered across all the four winds, but we come together for this and we share our knowledge together. And I never know what Artemis Prime is going to drop on us. It's typically going to be something I call otherworldly. It's in a different realm, guys. It's in a different realm, and that's okay. Don't get afraid of it. So today we're going to learn how to achieve maximum success in business through coherent emotion. Through coherent emotion. And Artemis is going to be teaching this today. Artemis is my personal coach. He's been my coach for many, many years. And right when I retired from the real estate industry, I retired from selling houses. I was kind of in a place of apathy, and I was like, okay, what's next? And God sent Artemis to me and my wife, and he has helped us in so many ways. Really physically, and he's helped us in the spirit realm, financially, and other ways as well. Phenomenal, brilliant coach. And so today he's going to be teaching us again how to achieve maximum success in business through coherent emotion. And so I'm not going to pretend to know what that even means, Artemis, but and I don't think I have to, because you know. um, and here's the thing, guys. This is the kind of thing that you won't get anywhere else. I know, because I've been a coach for 15 years. I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. I'm 50 now. I started as an entrepreneur at age 13. And the stuff that we bring you, see, we know that the Homo sapiens is a holistic being. Okay, that means we have a spiritual body, a physical body, a mental body, and an emotional body. We have 4 bodies. And so when we bring you a topic, it's not just about making tons more money. It's also about how do you navigate this realm with success. And so with that in mind, I'm going to turn it over to the incomparable, the none other, the disappearing and the reappearing Artemis Prime.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the call. So today's call is interactive. This is a class on heart intelligence, and I'm going to be weaving in the understanding of your heart, your business, and your spiritual connection to your business through your heart. And we're going to start in our hearts today. So take your right hand and rub your chest right here. Let's activate the center of our body, our heart. And we're going to do just a little bit of a direct experience so you can get what it feels like in your own experience before I start sharing the principles of heart math and heart intelligence. So close your eyes, place your right hand over your heart, relax your right hand on your heart. And this is a technique called heart lock. So we're going to lock on the human heart. And if your hand is in the center of your chest over your sternum, just take your hand and move it ever so gently over to your left so that the palm of your hand is caressing the left breast, because your heart organ actually sits slightly to the left under your left breast. And that way you can even more physically connect to your heart. And take a deep, deep, deep full body breath in. Inhale fully and exhale with a sigh. Ah. Good. Relax your lower back. Take another deep breath into your heart. And as you exhale, squeeze all the air out of your lungs. Relax your neck and shoulders. Inhale again. And exhale fully. Good. Drop your attention down to the center of your chest. And imagine that you can breathe the Holy Spirit into your heart. See the light of God just coming into your chest like a beautiful stream of energy, and breathe deeply into the heart. Exhaling deeply from your heart. Inhale fully into your heart, drawing that light, that beautiful light of spirit deep into the heart, and slow exhale from the heart. Relax your neck and shoulders. Drop your attention down to the center of your chest. Let go of everything you were thinking about and go into the feeling of your heart. Take a deeper heart breath in. Inhale fully. And slow eternal exhale, squeezing all the air out. Good. Relax your toes. Relax your eyes. Take a deeper breath into your heart. And exhale from your heart. Draw that full breath into the heart, focusing on the center of your heart, breathing deeply into it, and slow eternal exhale. And now we're going to move into some inquiry. Ask your heart, first words, ask your heart right now, deep within the center of your chest. What is the most beneficial thing for my business right now? And write down that answer. Open your eyes. Write down that answer. What is the most beneficial thing for my business? And your heart never has a question. Remember that. So what we just did there was a 2-minute meditation called Heart Lock. I also like to call it the heart focused breath. And the heart is at the center of your success. And your heart has the ability to create at will through your own connection, coherent emotion. And so that meditation that you just learned is something I do often. And whenever I'm stuck or have a struggle somewhere in my life or business, I just go down and ask my heart. And that technique is called the freeze frame by the Institute of Heart Math. And I'll share an audio with you guys towards the end of our class today. And so, what did you get from your heart? What did your heart tell you? Type it in the chat. Type in the chat. When you went down into the center of your heart and you asked, what is the most beneficial thing for my business right now? You got an answer. It might have been a word, a phrase. Knolly said collaboration. What I got this morning was video. Do video. And Amina said video. Brenton Thornton said marketing. Johanna said contacts and Calendly. Kathy McStay said listings. Your heart's saying listings. Anita says help. I require support. And remember, your mind has many questions. Your heart never has a question. Your mind is split. Your heart is one. And we can create coherent emotion at will by touching our heart for 5 to 10 minutes a day and breathing through it. And so wherever your life and business is at, you can shift your state of feeling by coherent emotion through the heart. And what does that mean? Coherent emotion through the heart. Let's talk about that. The amazing power of your heart for emotional coherence and maximum success in your life and business. So this is brand new information for y'all. I hope you get a lot out of this training today. And I encourage you to do the heart-focused breath for the next 30 days and see what magic and miracles can happen in your business through heart intelligence. And I'm going to prove to you why this is important through 30 years of scientific research and study and 5,000 years of Taoist medicine. And what we know today about the human heart has been known for over 5,000 years in ancient Chinese medicine. And when I started my spiritual path, before I found God and the Holy Spirit, I found my connection to my heart through medicine and through studying healing. And all healing comes from God and spirit. And it's important that we understand how spirit connects to our business, because when we can connect spiritual power, the power of our heart, to our business, our success and our prosperity is guaranteed. And it's easy and effortless. Remember that in life and business, creation is effortless when you're aligned with your heart, powered by your spirit.
Artemis.
Yeah.
Say that again. Success is guaranteed.
Success in your life and business is guaranteed when you're aligned with your heart. Yeah. There's no question. Your heart cannot experience duality. Your heart is one. And your mind is split. Your mind's role is to learn and analyze. Your heart's role is to choose and do. And so if we're building our business from our ego based on hustle and grind and fear and lack and status and all these things that have no essence, then we get into this sense of separation. And yet when we know our heart's in our business, we come into alignment with who we are in spirit. And then we learn how to express that through our business. And this is a class on spiritual business mastery. And I'm also going to ground it into some scientific principles, because it's really nice to have some understanding of the Institute of Heart Math. The Institute of Heart Math discovered through 30 years of scientific research that the heart is more powerful than the brain. The heart is about 100,000 times stronger electrically and 5,000 times stronger magnetically than your brain. And that's huge. Your heart forms around week 5 in your mother's womb, and it begins to beat by itself before the brain forms. Think about that. Your heart is one of the first organs to form in gestation, and it starts to beat on its own accord. Heart math calls that automatic intelligence, autorhythmic intelligence. And so when you ask that question to your heart just now, what's the most beneficial thing to do in my business? You were connecting to autorhythmic intelligence inside of you that every human has. Sometimes we've forgotten about this power we have inside of us. Today is a day to reconnect to it and channel it into our life and business. In ancient Chinese medicine, they say that your heart is the container of Shen. What is Shen? Shen is the luminous spirit within your heart. There are many, many names for God, and Shen is one of the expressions of the Holy Spirit. It is the luminous spirit within your heart, and it resides within every human heart. No matter our status, our age, our gender, our class, every human heart has Shen, luminous spirit. Being in flow. Now, Knolly and I have talked a lot about, staying in flow and getting out of the hustle and learning your profile and building your business from your profile. And this is also connected to your heart. Being in flow or creating your business from your zone of genius is an expression of how more of spirit can flow through your business. And I like to use wealth dynamics to teach our agents and entrepreneurs how we connect more to spirit and how spirit moves through us through our zone of genius in flow. In Chinese medicine, the heart is also known as the emperor of the body and the governor of all 10 major organs. And this goes back over 2,500 years in one of the ancient texts that I studied 20 years ago when I was studying Chinese medicine. If you are stuck anywhere in your body, mind, or business, look to your heart for the answer. The heart is the governor of your organs. The heart is the governor of spirit. The heart is the governor of your business. Start a meditation practice. Every day, 5 to 10 minutes a day, touch your heart. If you are in reaction, if you are in duality, if you are in stress, and you do not have control of your mind, you will control it through meditation. And heart meditation is a tool to get more power over your 5 senses and over your outer world. What happens inside your heart is way more important than what's happening outside in our world. So I encourage you to start a meditation practice. Fan the flame of your spirit daily with breath, silence, prayer, and meditation. Because remember, guys and gals, beautiful entrepreneurs, you can live at cause or you can live at effect. And you are the cause of your world and your business. And you can get lost in the drama of the world and start reacting, or you can create coherent emotion at will. You have the power to create coherent emotion, which is heart-wired in your heart. How many of y'all felt something good when we did that heart-focused breath? Peace, relaxation, ease, comfort, care, connection. You all have the ability to create coherent emotion. And you want to fan that flame every day through your meditation practice and through your practices of prayer, visualization, imagination, affirmation, declaration, because that coherent emotion, feeling good now, as KT would say, in your wish is your command, is what creates success. Heart and creating coherent emotion from heart can also be translated into your business model. Let's talk about that. How does that work? How do we bring more heart and more good feelings, feeling good now, feeling more coherent emotion into our business? Oops, hold on one sec. I do this every time. All right, here we go. So start a meditation practice. If you're not meditating, meditate every morning. I talk about the 5 rhythms to our students: hydration, movement, meditation, journaling, and 2 hours of lead generation. And these are the 5 rhythms of success mastery for all entrepreneurs and all agents. All of us should be doing a meditation practice every day. And if we've been in a hustle and grind and we've been really stressed about what's going on in our life and the world, meditate twice a day. Develop more loving discipline and fan the flame of your spirit. Shen in Chinese medicine is not everyone has a lot of it. Most of us are actually depleted in spirit right now. So we get to build and cultivate this quality called Shen and feed our spirit daily through being connected to God in ourself, God in our business, and staying in harmony with the laws of nature and the laws of the business cycle. and study wealth dynamics to understand those laws of how your zone of genius expresses through your business cycle and where you are in business. And so you get to cultivate Shen through daily practice and build coherent emotion, build that every day in the morning before you start your lead generation, build it every day before you launch a new video, build your spirit and your coherent emotion before you get on the phone to talk to a client or customer. Stay in harmony with these practices. When spirit, the fifth element, is at the center of our business and full of heart, our business will prosper and thrive. Remember that when you are connected to your heart, and it's not a woo-woo new age thing, we're talking your human heart. We're talking that thing that generates an electromagnetic field 5,000 times stronger than the brain. We're talking about an organ in your body that actually has a quality called luminous spirit that you can bring into your business. How do you bring more heart into your business? How do you create more coherent emotion each day and then translate that into your business model, your business activities? And some of this is counterintuitive. So I created a list of things that I do that keep me fired up in my business, that keep me growing and expanding each day in my business. And number one is meditation. Number two is fasting from technology, 1 day a week. Number three is knowing your purpose and expressing that through your business. Number four is living passionately. Number five is self-awareness, knowing your values, purpose, and your identity in God. Number six, having a clear brand identity aligned with your spirit. Knolly and I did a whole training on that last month. And number seven, charity. So let's break these down. I'm going to break these down and talk about this and how this relates to where you are right now in your business, because every one of us is in a different place in our business cycle. Some of us are at a red level, some of us are at an orange level, some of us are at a yellow level. And each one of these will have a different expression depending on which level of business you're at. And, starting with number three, knowing your purpose. Your purpose comes from your heart. Think about that. Your heart is connected to your spirit, and your purpose is inside that place we call heart. Why do you do what you do? What is your purpose in your business? And how do you express that through your business? Number three and number six are connected, because when you know your purpose, then you start to express that through your brand. When you want to become a celebrity in your community, what did Knolly teach us? Not the top three things to become successful. Number one, become a celebrity. Number two, accountability partner. Number three, get a mentor. And so when you want to become a celebrity, you want to connect that purpose, your heart, to your business through number five, self-awareness. What do you value? What is your purpose? Who are you to your marketplace? And how do you start connecting more of these things into your business? Well, it's going to be tied to number four, your passions. So I remember last 2 months ago, before COVID hit, I was at Knolly's house and we were giving him the passion test. And for those of you who don't know the passion test is really a powerful tool for connecting to your purpose and your passion. And I had Knolly write down his top 8 passions, and we were drilling them. We were like, okay, what's more important, number one or number two or number three, number four, number five? And we started connecting to Knolly's passions. And what did you get out of that, Knolly? What did you learn?
Had to unmute. It really provided deep clarity. The biggest thing for me is that it allowed me to eliminate a lot of the things that I was focusing on mentally and physically. And so really my number one, actually I've got them right behind me. So
yeah, read them to us.
Yeah. So my number one passion is my own personal development. And, that sounds selfish, and in a way it is. There's going to come a time in your life where it's time for you to focus on you. Number one, you may not want to do it, but you become that number one focus that God is working with. Remember the Apostle Paul, that when he started becoming a follower of the way, or a follower of Jesus, God had to take him out into the desert, the wilderness, for 3 years. Okay. He did the same thing with Moses. He did the same thing with the disciples. So sometimes it is about you. Sometimes it is time for you to focus on what we call PD, personal development. So that's my number one, my own personal development to achieve my ultimate greatness. I've got to become the me that is really me so that I can be real for you guys. That's number one. Number two, teaching, teaching and really public speaking.
And teaching publicly too, which was surprising to Knolly, because when I was giving him the passion test, he didn't know that that number two passion was bigger than what he was currently doing that he thought he was passionate about.
Yeah. And really that is from a standpoint of reaching mankind, that is my number one passion. But personal development is personal, so nobody really gets to see that part of it. That's what you're talking about: meditation, connecting with your heart, connecting with everything that God has given you. So public speaking is number two. And then number three is really building our organization. I have an organization that I'm building at EXP called Mentorship Masters. And I'm super excited. I just got a text from a guy today, this morning, that for 18 months I've been talking to him about joining me, and he's finally ready. He's a big, very well-known person. And so that's a big initiative of mine, is to grow my organization, because I feel like the closer I can get people to me, the more that I can give them. The closer people get to me directly, where they can, I've got some masters next week that are just going to come by my house for 2 or 3 hours. We're just going to hang out. So, hey, don't tell anybody, because I know COVID is still on, but we're not playing that game. But anyway, yeah. So those are my top three passions. And so I highly recommend everybody, for clarity, for the sake of clarity, take the passion test. And I know everybody wants a link. I was actually looking for the link to it. I can grab that link, Arttemis, if you want to keep teaching. I can grab that.
Yeah. So when I was giving Knolly the passion test, he had to get out of his intellect what he thought, and he had to drop down into his heart and feel which is more important. And writing down your top 8 passions and then taking the passion test. And Janet Bray-Atwood, who developed this, her mission on the planet is to help 80% of our planet live a passionate life. Right now, 80% of our planet hates what they do for a living. It's because they're not living from heart, and they're not connected to their purpose, and they're not expressing their business from heart, passion, and purpose. And when you're purpose driven, when you're passionately motivated, then your business model just becomes an extension of that. And for example, like, I'm in the real estate business right now. What I'm passionate about real estate is home is my sanctuary. Home is a place of family and fun and recreation, rest and rejuvenation. And I get to go give that to people through the buying and selling of real estate. So that's me connecting my passion of being home and understanding what home is for me to other people. And I got 2 buyers that are moving from California to Austin, and they don't feel safe right now in their home. And so they're looking to move to a new home. But what they're really looking for is a place to create new life, new family, new growth, new connection. And so I'm Austin's premier conscious realtor. I know how to connect passionately to those desires and give them that here in Austin. So that's an example of how passion is connected to what I'm doing for my clients. I'm passionate about home and safety, security, fun, family, rest, rejuvenation. And so when I do content or when I share information, I'm going to be sharing my purpose, my values, and my passion from my heart in my business and in my content. And people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And so this is how you start to bring more of your heart in your business, is by asking yourself new questions. Who am I? What's your profile? What do you know, how are you wired in business? Why are you here? Why are you doing what you're doing? If you're doing it just so that in order to get the next check or pay your bills, that's not going to take you very far, because it doesn't have enough spirit. It doesn't have enough heart to achieve maximum success. Who are you? Why are you here? What are your values? What is your purpose? What are your passions? And when you start connecting to this, then you start to really know how to bring more spirit, more Shen, more heart into your business. And you got to cultivate it. You need a mentor, you need an accountability partner, and you will need to become a celebrity to achieve great success. And a lot of this is not just the skills we develop, it's the heart we express through our brand, our business, and our content. And it actually, it originates from a place in the center of your body. It actually originates from your heart organ, as we've known for over 5,000 years. So when you look at those 6 things, and you look at meditation, fasting 1 day a week from technology, knowing your purpose, knowing yourself, which one of those things is most important for you right now? What of those 6 things, what's the one thing on that list that you can do such that by doing it, everything else will be better and more effective? What's the one thing you can do on that list? And I'll bring it up again. What's the one thing you can do on this list? Meditation, fasting from technology, knowing your purpose, living passionately, self-awareness, building your brand identity, or charity. Which one of these things is going to have the most impact right now in your business? Type it in the chat. And your heart knows, by the way. Your head may start like wondering, well, I don't know, Arttemis, is it number 1 or 6? Is it 3 or 4? No, ask your heart. Your heart never has a question. The mind is split, the heart is one. We use our minds, but we don't want to be controlled by the mind. We want to be living from a passionate place, from a purpose-driven place, from a place full of Shen, luminous spirit, and then let that spirit radiate throughout our lives. So of these 7 things, which one of the 7 is most important? Bradford says purpose. Michelle says living passionately. Yes, take the passion test, Michelle. There are certified passion test coaches all over the planet. You can go find one. Crystal says knowing our purpose from God within. Yes. Yes. Sharonda says knowing my purpose. Anita says charity. Okay, good. Let's talk about charity. So in Success with Listings, Knolly talks about charity. So funny. I have to grab a prop because having physical things is good. So in Success with Listings, Knolly talks about connecting your business to a charity. And charity has to come from the heart. So whatever charity you connect to your business, make sure that you believe in it 125%. So that when you speak about it on a Facebook Live or on an email or on a landing page or in a conversation, that they can feel the excitement about that charity. And charity is connected to the law of the tithe. So tell us about this, Knolly, about connecting your business to a charity.
Yeah, that's actually, we did a whole video on that, or training on that. And let me grab. So essentially what I like to do is, I say, connecting your passion or your purpose to a higher calling is what I call it in the book. And what that means is, instead of saying like in our world, or really in any world, in the real estate world, let's say I wanted to do 100 deals. Okay. Well, I knew that for example, for every 100, for every 10 deals, I could put a well, okay, in a certain country, okay, a certain village. So that means that instead of me saying, hey, I want to do 100 deals, my goal now is to put in 10 wells. Okay. The goal is no longer to do 100 deals, it's to put in 10 wells. Now, when I put in those 10 wells, I will have done 100 deals. Okay. But it's not the cart before the horse. It's the horse before the cart. So the mission becomes mission critical, becomes the main thing that you're doing, and it leads to the other thing that you want to achieve. And so I created a whole system for that, where we have like spreadsheets and everything, where you can actually, and by the way, a lot of people don't realize this, but you can actually do 100 deals with 20 people. Okay. Let me say it again. You can do 100 deals with just 20 people, if using this system that we're talking about right now, if you've got the right 20 people. Okay. And that means that you've partnered with maybe a chiropractor, a dentist, a doctor, or somebody else that comes in contact with a lot of people. And you've gotten each one of those 20 people to commit to send you 5 to 7 people a year. Okay. Because they're part of this program. It's a program that you're running, Wells for Haiti, or whatever the name of it is. My wife and I have been tithers, even though we understand that the core reason for tithe no longer exists, because the tithe was to be given to one of the tribes of Israel who were not permitted to work. But we like the principle of tithing. So my wife and I have been tithers since I was age 21. Okay. So, and even to this day, when I have a closing, the title company automatically knows 90% of the revenue is wired into one account, and 10% of the revenue is wired into a separate account. I call it God's money, God's account. Yes, God has his own bank account in my household. So my wife and I have 5 bank accounts, and one of them is for God, and the other 4 are mine. And so that's just the way we've lived. It's been a huge blessing. It has worked out. We have done that when we were making $1,000 a month. I was making 1,000. My wife was making 1,000 when we first got married. We made 2,000 a month. We were using that system where God got his off the top, and all the way now to where we could be. I mean, we could have a month with making 70,000, and we still do it. So, it is a principle that really, really works, and it's leading with giving. Okay, you still get to keep the majority of it, but that's just something we've done. We love it. We don't say that everybody has to do it. It's just something that has been successful for us. But I would say anchoring your business to a higher purpose, which is what Arttemis is talking about. Everybody should be doing that. Everybody should be doing that, and I teach it. It's in chapter 5, I do believe.
Of Success with Listings.
Yeah, of this book right here. Yeah, you can download this. If you go to knolly.com, you can download it for free.
And for those of you in the Facebook group, it's also unit number 3, I believe.
It's in unit number 3.
Unit number 3 in the Facebook group, Knolly Success Coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure that whatever charity you use, it comes from your heart. It comes from a spirit of care, compassion, connection, and generosity, which are all qualities of the human heart.
Yeah. You'll see it right here. Those of you that already have the book, you'll see it right here on page 150. Mm-hmm. It's called Anchoring Your Goals into a Higher Purpose. Because, and by the way, doing this system makes it easier to make your calls. It doesn't really matter what profession you're in. Okay. You can use a system like this. And instead of calling your clients and saying, hey, I got my eye on this new neighborhood I want to buy a house in, so I want to do 100 deals because of that, or I want to buy this new Mercedes S5, whatever. Instead of having that as your goal, nobody wants to hear that, right? But when you say, hey, I want to put in 10 wells in Africa this year. Can you help? They're like, yeah, I want to help. And then they get behind your cause, they get behind your program, and you get the right people in your program, and you can get a whole lot of referrals of business just by, and a lot of companies do this, by the way. It's just, you don't want to do it for the sole purpose of business, but Christ said it is better to what? To give than to receive. And so by becoming a giver, you receive. It's just a principle. And it takes many people a lifetime to understand that. They go through the whole life and they're just takers. And then when they start realizing, wait a minute, there's something more that I missed, so it's good that you guys are getting it early.
Yeah. I really believe in a green earth and a sustainable future. So the charity I chose is Trees for the Future. And so for every home that's bought or sold in my practice, I donate money to plant 10,000 trees. And that's what I really believe in. I really believe in a sustainable future. I believe in a green earth. And for every house that's bought and sold, 10,000 trees are planted, which creates a whole economy for villages in Africa through agroforestry. So Trees for the Future, they go in and they do a 3-year project with the village. And they build this fence of brush to create the barrier. And then they start to plant, fast growing, drought resistant trees in the center of that fence. And within 3 years, they have a thriving forest, food source, and economy for our villages in Africa. And they've done this over 30 years and they have a proven system. And so that's something I really believe in. And I can put my heart behind that 125%. I can speak about it with passion and purpose. And that's something that will pull people in. They'll pay attention. Like Knolly says, it's not about buying the next flashy car or having more money in your bank account. It's about, who do you serve? Why do you serve? What is your purpose? What is that spiritual connection to your business that when you start asking these questions, maybe some of these are new questions for you all, and you're like, well, I need to start asking myself better questions. Who am I? Why am I here? Charity. I've never thought about connecting a charity to my business. What do I really believe in? What would I do if I wasn't paid for it? How could I help others? And then that is the Spirit of God moving through you. That is Shin. That is luminous spirit. When you start to cultivate these qualities, you start to radiate a frequency that is electromagnetic, that is coherent emotion, generosity, care, compassion, non-judgment, and forgiveness start to flow through you through asking these questions. And yet you do need to practice. You need to start making these changes in your business. And there are many different directions you can go. So just start with one. Some of you just said purpose. All right, start connecting to that, write it down, bring it into your content. Some of you said charity. Okay, find the charity and read page 150 and follow Knolly's system and then do that. Every one of us is at different levels of our business development. And how can we bring more heart into our business is unique to each one of us. And guess what? You don't need a coach for this. All you need to do is ask your heart. Just like I taught you at the beginning of class today. Just drop down, breathe, connect, get real still. And that's what heart math calls the freeze frame technique, where you drop down, you lock on the heart for 5 to 10 minutes, and you ask a question anywhere in your life and business. Because remember, if you're blocked anywhere in your life, your health, your business, the answer is in your heart, your physical heart and your spiritual heart, which are one and the same. And it's automatically intelligent. It is auto-rhythmic. And every one of us has now this filter. I like to call it the bullshit filter, because the mind is split. The mind will perceive all things in duality. The heart is one. And there's this battle that goes on when we start our business, where we have to learn all these skills and learn how to do all this stuff and learn how to work with people and learn how to be in the business world. And then we take this journey back from the mind after we develop those skills to the heart. And then we start to develop that into our business cycle and our business brand and our identity and then we start to enter the marketplace, not from mind, from heart. And so we all start in life. In the great Maori tradition of ancient New Zealand, they talk about this heart intelligence, that all children are born in this place called heart. And then we go through school, high school, college, we develop the knowledge and the skills to become successful. And then the ultimate journey back to revelation and to transformation, to self-realization, is moving from the mind back down to the heart and taking those skills that we develop, the knowledge we develop, and then bringing it into the heart and expressing it through our business. Unfortunately, 99% of entrepreneurs haven't learned how to do that yet. That's why we're here. That's why we're teaching Knolly Success Coaching, the spiritual business master, because you need to ask better questions in your life. The quality of the questions you ask yourself for your business determines the quality of your life. That's why Knolly says, get a mentor. Because it's the mentors that are going to ask you those questions. Why? Because they've been there, done that. They've made the mistakes. They're going to give you fresh questions, new ways of looking at, okay, who are you? Where are you? What do you need to be doing differently at this level of your business versus that level of your business? And Knolly's got the systems all the way up 4 levels of the 9 levels of the lighthouse. We got all the systems going from infrared to green. And so we have answers, and sometimes you need that person to ask you better questions. That most of those questions are not going to point to your intellect and your skills. It's going to point to your heart. And it's a real physical thing. It's a scientific thing. It's a spiritual thing. And it's all one. So y'all ready to go cosmic? Y'all ready to go cosmic? I'm about to go cosmic. So I'm about to take this information.
About to go crazy?
I'm about to go a little out there. Are you ready? I'm going to go super cosmic. Here we go. So I have been a student of the mystery since I was 13 years old. And my dad spoke half a dozen languages and had a PhD in law. And he introduced me to a lot of esoteric things at 13 that opened my mind to God. and the laws of creation and the universal laws of creation through light, through sound, through sacred geometry. And then I began studying the Bible when I was like, 20, 21 and 22. And I was like, wow, the Bible's saying all this stuff, but it's saying it in parable. We have to like contemplate what it says to know the truth. And it's interesting, as I began to study the Bible, I was just reminded of all of the universal laws that my dad began to teach me through sacred geometry and esoteric Christianity and all these things that were so secretly known. I began just diving in. And we live in a very well organized universe. Remember that everything happens in your life by law, by the laws of vibration, the laws of polarity, the law of spirit. There's a law of forgiveness that you will learn and master. There's the law of charity, the law of the tithe. As you sow, so shall you reap. It's good to know these laws. It's good to study these laws. And I've been studying them since I was 13. And that's how I can weave all these principles together seamlessly. Like you notice like how I can connect wealth dynamics to business, to the Bible, and to health and healing, is because it's all part of one universal understanding of God's creation. And in the Institute of Heart Math, they discovered that, let me get this in a full screen here. The heart has 5 core qualities that you're all going to develop and master as you become coherent and aligned in your life and business. The first one is to love without attachment. To love as God loves you and God loves everyone. Love without power is weak. Power without love is aggressive. And so you're going to learn how to love your clients and prospects without attachment, because you're powered by your purpose, not by people. The second quality they discovered about the heart was care. Care, we all have the ability to do. But some of us, the ladies who are watching today, are the caregivers. Mothers and women are the caregivers. And sometimes we care based in fear. And true care has no fear, ladies. So what do you care about? You care about your purpose, your vision, and the deepest part of what motivates you in your life and business. Yes, ladies, you are the caregivers, but be careful not to care too much. In life and business, you have to care, but not that much. So our hearts have the quality to care, but when we get caught in racism or separation or duality, we are caring with fear. And true care from your heart has no fear. Remember that. True care about your clients and prospects is not about worry or concern or fear. It's about love, purpose, and passion, which all reside within the heart. And if you want to know physically and emotionally what this means, touch your heart every day for 10 minutes for 30 days, and you'll feel the care that God gave you in your heart, because it's actually inside your body. You are heart wired to care, but not with fear, unless you're living from the mind and your ego. And unfortunately, that's the journey we all get to take until we land back in our hearts. Remember, we start in our hearts as children. We go from the heart to the mind, and we take that journey 18 inches down, and it's a long journey for some of us. The third quality of the heart is forgiveness. And so we will all learn how to forgive. To love your family is human. To forgive those who betrayed you is divine. Remember that. To love your family and your friends, that's human. But to forgive those who hurt you is divine. And so we will all go through that door into the heart, heal those wounds, and forgive. And when we have forgiven, we have forgotten. And forgiveness 70 times 7. Remember, Master Jesus, forgive 70 times 7. And as we forgive and forgive, and then we start to open up this door, this amazing door of love, compassion, and care. Compassion, according to heart math, is care with passion. So we have compassion for our culture and the pandemic and all of the strife and struggle. but we don't want to attach to it because it doesn't come from our hearts. It comes from the mind. Number 4 is gratitude, appreciation. When we launched in the COVID crisis, I knew the first thing to do for all of our agents was to teach them how to write gratitude down, because in gratitude, fear cannot exist. When you're heart-centered in your business, fear cannot exist. Fear is an illusion of separation. Fear is an illusion of the mind. The heart is one. Gratitude is one of the most important qualities we will cultivate for maximum success and coherence in our life and business. And number 5 is non-judgment. And after 30 years of study in the Institute of Heart Math, these are the 5 qualities that every human heart has: love, care, forgiveness, gratitude, and non-judgment. And guess what? It's your natural state. It's how you were made. It's what you are wired for. Now you will have to cultivate some of these qualities again. You will get to practice some of these. Many people who are on this session, some of you, I've coached you and I've taught you about forgiveness, and I've shared some practices of forgiveness, and that's opened up new doorways in the heart, healing, making the heart go from wounded to love, and from love to care, and from care to gratitude, and then from gratitude we get to non-judgment. And that's when we care, but not that much. We see rightly. In the Little Prince, it says, only through the heart that you can see rightly. What is essential in life is invisible to the eye. It is only through the heart that we see rightly. What is essential to our business is invisible to the eye. So many of these principles about passion, purpose, value, and flow are not, we can't see them, and yet they're in our hearts. Every one of you has this and can develop this, can build this right now in your life and business. All right, let's get cosmic. Your heart creates an energetic field called a tube torus, scientifically measurable up to 10 feet from your body. And so your human heart right here, that little part of us that we connected to at the beginning of our session, is a torus of a sacred geometric energy that radiates 10 feet outside your body.
I have an appointment. I gotta go.
And it is a tube torus.
In a minute.
Go ahead and mute yourself, whoever's unmuted. All human hearts are nested within a greater heart, a divine torus that the earth also emits. So the electromagnetic field of our planet emits the same electromagnetic frequency. What's that tell you? The earth is nested within an even greater torus of heart energy we call the great central sun. Beloved Alpha and Omega, the center of our galaxy, the heart of God in this universe that we live in, also creates its own tube torus. What does that tell you? You are made in the image of God. The scripture says. So wherever you are, you're always inside the heart of the earth and the heart of God. And what really matters in life and success and business is how you feel in your heart and how you translate that into your thoughts, words, actions, and deeds. And it is so powerful to know and understand these things, and then to begin to take the actions and start translating them into your business. So wherever you are, you have a connection to the earth and to the galaxy through this thing we call the heart organ. I knew that when I was 13 years old, but I didn't really get that until today in the way that I get it. I began studying and contemplating, these principles, and, watching Knolly do what he does with his business, you can see all of his heart all over his business. Why do you think he's so successful? There's a reason. So my question and challenge to all of you today is, how can you bring more of your heart into your business? Is it through purpose? Is it through just meditation? Do you need to get still for a while so you can start connecting more to your heart? Or is it through finding that charity and connecting that charity to your business? Or is it through knowing your purpose and getting clear on that purpose and then starting to communicate that to your marketplace? Or is it through building a brand identity and becoming a celebrity? because all celebrities that are God-centered and Christ-centered have their heart all over their brand and business. So wherever you are, just ask, how can I bring more of my heart into my business? And then how can I, from that place, cultivate more coherent emotion, which is passion, purpose, and values in partnership, and then start radiating that out. And you'll find that things will start to come to you easily and effortlessly as you start connecting to this thing we call heart. And it's a real physical practice that you can do by touching your chest every day. And it's also some words, actions, and deeds that you'll create in your business cycle, in your business model. And I'm gonna, for extracurricular training, how'd y'all like that cosmic instruction at the end? Was that cool? I don't ever teach that stuff. I don't show that to anybody. So it's like, all right, I'm going to give him the most high cosmic level instruction I can possibly give him today.
Yeah, that's good. You know, I actually have a YouTube video where I talk about that, how the heart radiates. And at the time, I thought it was like an up to 8 foot field. Some people have a smaller, and they have spectrometers where they could actually look at where the Heart Math Institute has all this equipment, and they can see how far your beam or whatever you call it would radiates out from the heart. And see, that's just the way God made us. We're very complex individuals, and we do not have a clue at how phenomenally intricately woven and fashioned we are. We're just starting to learn. We're just starting to learn a lot of this stuff. Most of the science that is in this realm is dedicated to making money. It's not necessarily dedicated to talking about the billions of dollars of resources. It's not necessarily dedicated to helping you become the ultimate you. So we've got to do that work on our own. And that's the real deal. That's the real deal. Good stuff, Arttemis.
Yeah. Yeah. This is an awesome class today for you to start thinking about new questions, new ways of weaving these principles, because it is mystical and it's also practical. And the practical application is beginning to ask these questions and then starting to weave them into your life and business. The core foundation and rhythm is meditation, that we all must meditate to know God and to experience his presence. And, prayer is the call that compels the answer. Meditation is the receiving of that call.
Yeah. See, and it's practical too, because most people don't really know what they want. They think that they want the 7-bedroom home, 6,000 square foot house, multiple car garage with the 10 acres and everything. I had all that. And the reality is that's not what you want. That's not what your heart wants. Now, there's nothing wrong with having those things, and it's great to have them. But if that's all you're focused on when you get them, you're going to be in for a real letdown. And that's why so many lottery winners, you just go and look at the stories of the people that have won mega millions. Look at the stories of all the celebrities. Look at the stories of all the celebrities that die young, the sports figures, the multi-million-dollar contracts that they receive and where they end up. Because that is not the epoch. That is not the zenith. That is not what you were put on this realm for. There's nothing wrong with enjoying it if it's in the right perspective. There were many millionaires and billionaires in the Bible, but they had already learned that that wasn't where they placed their trust and hope. And so that's why this is not just esoteric, it's practical. Mm-hmm. It's practical because you don't want to just learn how to make millions of dollars, which I've made and I can teach you how to do. But at the end of the game, you're like, but this is not what I was really looking for. Well, I could have told you that at the beginning of the game. And that's what we're aiming to do. So appreciate it. Great stuff.
And if you want to learn more about the Institute of Heart Math and some of their science and technologies, there's 2 tools they teach, which is the Heart Lock and the Freeze Frame. And I did both of them with you at the very beginning of class today. There's an audio called the Heart Math Project. And I'll go ahead and share that audio with you now as a, let's see. All right, getting out of this screen and taking you to audible.com. And this is extracurricular training. Some of you might want to take a deep dive into some of this stuff. And it's called the Heart Math Method.
Yeah, I actually put the post of the Audible here.
Oh, good.
Earlier.
Yeah, this is a great 8-hour workshop from Howard Martin, one of the co-founders of the Heart Math Institute with Doc Childry. And the reason this is like a master class, and this will give you more information you ever want to know about the human heart, but it'll also give you some practical and things to do and further continuing education from today. Is the Heart Math Method on Audible. And, why did Doc Childer and Howard Martin invest 30 years of their life and, hundreds of thousands of dollars in scientists and research? Is because they wanted to prove scientifically what Christ and the mystics have been teaching us for thousands of years, that your heart is the entry point of spirit into matter. That's what they really discovered, is that your heart is the entry point of spirit into matter. And that when we get into a successful business model, we're getting into that flow state, and we're getting into that place where spirit can move and flow into our business, and it can express itself, aligned in our zone of genius, on the path of deepest purpose with the least resistance. And that's, they knew that the heart was the key, was the answer to helping humanity evolve to our next level. Because if there's anything we need more than anything else, is emotional intelligence. We need to become more heart intelligence as a culture, as a humanity. And it's up to us as entrepreneurs to lead the way and become heart intelligent first. Don't see what's wrong, go out and create value and be a part of the solution with heart intelligence. And you will create great change for your community and culture. And becoming rich is the way we help the poor. Becoming successful is the way we end racism. It's becoming heart-centered and creating great wealth and value. And this is so important for all of us right now, to end the suffering of humanity. Is not, don't put your attention on the suffering. Go out and get rich from heart. Go out and be successful from heart. And by your experience, by your success, by your role modeling, you'll create a new earth. And this is so important right now, that we be about our purpose. We be about who we are and the value we're delivering to the marketplace, and not about the drama and the separation and all the mindset that's going on. That's all going to fade away anyway. Lead with value, lead with heart. Go out and give your gifts. Add a charity to bring more heart into what you do. Go out and be of service and love and care and be in non-judgment. And it's so funny. Sometimes people will try to bring the drama into your life. And what you do in a place of heart is you listen. And then you don't talk about the drama, you share a story. Because people can argue about politics and science all day long, but they can never argue with your story. So tell stories from your heart and help people like rise up out of that drama and that sense of separation through a good story, a good experience that you've had.
All right, well, that wraps it up. Another one in the book. This is legendary training. Some people are ready for it more so than others. But here's the thing: go back, listen to it. I highly recommend Heart Math. Very, very interesting information and good information to know. Kind of puts in perspective what Christ was talking about, because Christ talked a lot about the heart. People are like, well, what is it? Just an organ? No, it's not just an organ. It's far from it. So when you start to understand what God was really talking about, then you start to be enlightened and illumined. So thank you, Arttemis Prime, for this great teaching today.
You're welcome, everybody. See you next Thursday.
Unmute yourselves, everybody. Say goodbye. Like we like to hear your voice.
Bye. Thank you.
Happy Thursday. Bye.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so
Bye.
much, everyone.
Have a great day, everybody.
Thank
Love you
y'all.
guys.
Appreciate you.
Be
Much blessings to you,
magical.
my brother.
Love y'all.
God bless everyone on this call.